Hey, it's Kristen, feminist scrapbooker, and welcome to my 2022 Week in the Life flip through. So, I did a 10 by 8 album, and I have lots of transparencies, lots of full page photos, and I'm so excited to share with you my project. So here is a 6 by 8 photo. I got all of my photos printed at Persnickety Prints. I stamped a little bit on the cover. And then I have here my adventures, June 20th through 26th, 2022. I could have put a big, whole long journaling reason why, and I was debating that for a really long time, but I didn't really have, a whole lot that I wanted to say on that subject. So I used this same stamp set throughout, this big block letter stamp set, and you'll see that throughout my pages. And so I set up a little template for myself where I had these heart pockets that I didn't actually put anything in, and I put them on a blank transparency. Okay, and behind my big photo, sometimes I have another big photo, sometimes I have some patterned paper with stamping, and then I always matched it up with a 4x4 and 6x4 on top of each other page protector. And then I've got this one word for today and these cool frames with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can see them over there. Sometimes I have photos, sometimes I have journaling cards, and we'll go through and see how that plays out. But this is this amazing grocery store, and I wanted to talk about a whole bunch of different things here at the grocery store, so I used these big numbers, and then I coordinated it with a little bit of journaling over here. So, this is one of the best grocery stores. The produce section is amazing. The building is so big, and this is just one of my favorite places. And here's a picture of us in the garden center, and this is a picture of me in the garden center. And here's a little bit more about the place we went to lunch to across the street from there. And that grocery store has just bins and bins and bins of candy. So I just took an overhead shot of the Tootsie Rolls, and I added some stickers that I've had literally forever. Because they just matched so perfectly. So I was really glad that I got to use up these stickers and journal a little bit more. And here's a sticker that I got from the grocery store and some pictures from our pizza date for lunch. We'll flip it over. And this is just a photo of the drive home. And then we have Tuesday. So same thing. I have my Tuesday little pocket. Didn't put anything in there. I don't have anything in any of them. And that is behind this bowl of CSA cherries that were absolutely incredible. And then I don't have an extra large photo here. What I have is patterned paper, and then I stamped me and you with the same stamps, the same stamp set. I used the same font throughout, the same stamp set throughout to make it feel cohesive. So today on Tuesday we are making another picture of us, some more journaling, and a little quote card, everyday story about me going to get my blood work done. There's a little picture of me under here actually getting my blood work done. We've got making time for self-care. And then in here, I've got a big spread of me working on a Book of Me layout while watching an Allie Edwards video. And then here, I wanted to take a picture and share of the project I actually made and some of the journaling about the project. And then over here, I set this up, I didn't put it there on purpose, but when I noticed that it was there, I made sure to take a picture with this piece of paper on my desk so that I could write all of the journaling right on this piece of white paper. And I think that's really great. I think it's awesome that I found these white spaces because that's something that I was really looking for in my photography. So one of the really great things about this 10 by 8 album is the option to take these huge photos and tell these stories with these huge photos. So at my desk, and it let me use these fun hearts in such a really nice way. Cause I wasn't going to do the journaling on my blinds that didn't really work. And, they're ugly. They're not ugly, but they're not pretty. And so it felt nice to just put some stuff in that space and fill that space, especially since everything else in these photos is colorful. Lizzo spotting. And it felt really nice to have the pictures of this side of my workstation. So that's definitely something that I'm going to do again in 2023, is make sure that I have some nice, big, bright pictures of what it is that I'm creating. And then we move into dinner, and it was asparagus season, which is one of the best seasons here in Michigan. And I used this Brandy Kincaid postcard, and I backed it to do my journaling about Michigan asparagus season. One of my favorite 3 weeks of the year is asparagus season. It's just so good. We have it for dinner probably 4 or 5 nights a week. And this night, we made asparagus pesto and charred asparagus for flatbreads. And we just got a new uni pizza oven, and so I'm so excited to do this again in the next couple of weeks. Cannot wait. So excited. These pictures, flipping through this album makes me so excited for what's coming up next in produce season. And so we go from this very green page to this red page. And that felt really fun too, to play with colors. Even though I didn't necessarily, I don't have a Monday is this color, Tuesday is this color. It felt really nice to be in here and say, oh yeah, I got all these photos. And this was not what I was trying to do at the time. This is what I did when I got my photos back. I said, oh, look at all these great pictures. These are all from dinner. And these work really well as, a green focused page. And that's why I just pulled some green cardstock. I used a little bit of green washi, and my journaling here is on, just a different shade of green washi tape. And just by using all of the different shades of green, it just feels nice. It feels spring. It feels right. And then we went into this. We made strawberry sorbet with the strawberries that you saw on the first page. And oh my god, unbelievable! One of the best things. It was just so good. And it's funny because with Week in the Life, you're just so much more acutely aware of the things that you're doing because you're doing them. But then you're also taking a picture of them. And then you're also thinking about okay, what's the journaling? And then you're thinking what else fits into this larger story? And I was thinking about this specifically with these strawberries, because I knew when I took this photo, I said, oh, I know this is going to be one of the big ones. I know this is a photo that I want to be big and pretty and in my album. And it's look at these, the tiny little seeds and the tiny little fuzz on them. They're just so good. And then we get to actually making this strawberry sorbet. And the strawberry sorbet was just so unbelievable. And I don't even need to write the whole full story about oh my god, it's so mouthwatering. I don't need to write 5 paragraphs. This homemade strawberry was so amazing. 5 stars. It really was 5 stars. It's so nice to, be so aware of what's going on, be so into your stories, be so excited about what's happening, that you also end up with an awesome, delicious result. And that, that doesn't always happen in Week in the Life. Sometimes Week in the Life is a rough week. And so there are ups and there are downs, but the strawberry sorbet was definitely a highlight. And so on Wednesday, I knew I wanted to document my workday. I sit in front of the computer for a lot of my workday. So I wanted to make sure that I documented, what do I actually do when I sit behind the computer? So the first picture that I went with to, set the tone for the day was a close-up of my rainbow keyboard, which it just makes me happy. It makes me so happy. And I have my little quote, spending all day at the battle station, and I will show you what the battle station looks like in a second. Yep, we've got it there. We've got a really cool page. So excited about the way that page turned out. And this is the view out my sliding glass door. It's a view that I see all the time, and I, never really think to take a picture of it, but this is something that I look at, and it was really nice to just be this, there's not really anything special about this. It's just something that I see every day, and sometimes that's special enough. And then I've got my page with my journaling in these 4x4 journaling cards. My one word today is working. I've got my picture of my Daily Pages crew in here. On the back, I've got a quote card, another quote card, and then a little bit of garden time. And then I've got this really cool sheet of patterned paper here. And I wanted to use the little rainbows to the colors in the rainbow to talk about the different things that I did each day. The different things that I did throughout the day on Wednesday. So I stamped ALP, I stamped that I went to co-working, I stamped that I worked on my Book of Me lesson, I stamped out that we had a Daily Pages live lesson, and I stamped out that I worked on app development throughout the day. And here's what that looked like. So I took these really great vellum numbers that I had been saving, I ran them through the Xyron machine, stuck them on this big, huge photo that I took. I took the panorama photo. Oh, no, I didn't. These are two separate photos. Yeah, these are two totally separate photos. This one is a zoomed out photo. If you have the iPhone, you could have the options of doing the 0.5, I have the, what do I have? The 12 Pro Max. So yeah, if you have anything above that, then you have the options to do the 0.5, the 1, or the 2.5 lens. And so one of these is the 1 lens, and one of these is the zoom out lens, the 0.5 lens. So I could get both my monitors. So I was in check-in that day. This is me working on 30 days of showing up classroom. And so I went through the numbers 1 through 9. I picked out 9 different things that went on during the day. Check-in, focus blocks, Daily Pages live stream, lunch, a meeting time that I have, another focus block, my daily checkout that I did at 5:30 p.m., which is now different. So excited. I'm so excited to do this again because, my days are different now. And it's really nice to be able to compare and contrast. We did dinner at 6 p.m. And we started chilling on the couch at 8 to watch some TV. So this is one of my favorite pages. I love this so much, and I can't wait to do something like this again in my 2023 album. And then I talk about how Wednesday afternoons, last year, Wednesday afternoon was my last full focus block of the day where I spend most of the time at the computer. That has since changed. And so it's fun to document the way things, the routine in your day, the routine in your workday, the routine in your weekends, because even minor changes, even things that you don't know are going to change, those are the interesting things. And it's fun, and it's makes you so much more self-aware, which makes you a better storyteller. It makes you a better scrapbooker. So we got Thursday. I've got another little commute picture. And here is us at the CSA. And that's Jeff putting stuff in the CSA bag that we have. I have 3 things that I love about our CSA. So many things that I love about CSA. It's just so great. Especially the one that we have now. It's all local farmers. We've got a mix of things. We get a bread in our CSA. We have a bread CSA. We have a chicken CSA. We have egg CSA. It's so fantastic. And so we've got our one word for today, which is Lansing, because we went into Lansing to pick up our CSA here. And this mural is amazing. It's such an amazing mural. And then we went and we picked up we're going to go pick up some lunch, and then lunch was going to take a little while. So we stopped and went to a park. And the park is right next to the stacks in Lansing. And so I took this huge panorama photo, which I love. And I took it and I backed it with some patterned paper. And you can see here that I cut down 2 sheets of 12 by 12 patterned paper with this design. And then I cut out 3 of these squares and just matted them with some foam, 3D foam. And it's just a really fun insert to have. And then here's just a 3x8 with the stacks in it. And this Lansing piece was actually the last piece of my week in the life. I got it probably in December. And everything in this whole album was done except for this for 4 months. And I wanted to find a postcard that I really liked. And this one felt really great. This one felt perfect. So we were looking at the river. We went and we sat on the swings. And there were a couple of fun things that I did with transparencies. Because the next photo is one of my favorites, I wanted to make sure that there was a transparency here so we could see, like, we get the sneak peek. So this is what we got from the CSA. This is the banh mi sandwich that we got from lunch. I'm in my accountability call. I'm not on video because I'm eating my sandwich from lunch. And these are my Thursday 3 photos. I liked both of these photos. I wanted them both in here. And I didn't have room to put my Thursday 3 journaling there. So on the next page, where I am in a podcast with Kasha, I took this 1, 2, 3 page from one of the Allie Edwards kits, and I said, that's perfect for my Thursday 3 journaling. And I spent this whole page just journaling about my Thursday 3s. And so there's always a little bit of a slump for me on Thursdays and on Fridays. And so Thursday 3 is really helpful to, at least I know I'm going to have one picture to take and one thing to write about. So that's been really great. This year for 2023, there's going to be the NFL draft for me, so I'm excited for that. And I ended my Thursday with a little photo of watching The Umbrella Academy. So that was really fun. Made sure to get some TV in here. And then on Friday sucked. Spoiler alert. I've got my same thing. I've got my little Friday pocket. The big photo is somehow, even though we totally covered our entire single bed with like as much netting as possible, and somehow like a comical amount of netting, because this was the only bed we tried to grow stuff in last year because the deer have been such a menace. And the whole thing was covered. It was just covered. And somehow, some way, they still slaughtered our plants. So that was a sad day. And then we had Roe v. Wade be overturned, and this was a hard day to do. I had my week in the life completed pretty much up through Thursday, and then I even had Saturday and Sunday mostly done. But this was hard because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know how I wanted to do it. And I made a daily page about it, and it meant a lot to put this in here. And I think that I might actually photograph all of my daily pages, or whatever daily pages I like the best, and put them in my week in the life in 2023. Just because that is a big part of my life. And it's really fun to see, what am I creating each day as well. And so those are that. Some more journaling. Just a picture of me in incredibly messy hair and just with a big WTF on my face. And this really nice picture in the back. And Saturday, here's a big picture of my headache medicine, which I take once a month. And the rest of the stories are about staying home. So this is our little secret garden area that we have, and this wall gets totally covered in tomatoes. It's a little too early in the year for that to have been happening, but it's so exciting to look at pictures of this place, this one space in our house, and know exactly what time of year it is, depending on what's growing and how high it is, and it's so fun. It just makes me so happy. And then I journaled a little bit more about, what we did outside, how it was a meds day, and all the other stuff I did. I photographed all of my Daily Pages books for 30 Days of Showing Up, and that was really fun. And then we moved on to Sunday, the last day. And Sunday we went out a little bit. We went to this adorable little market downtown in East Lansing, picked up a few things for dinner, and we went to our little farmer's market that is, also 5 minutes away. One of the greatest things about living in this town, one word for today is town. We have a great little farmer's market. Everything has to be made in Michigan. Everything is, it's not about arts and crafts. It's not about like wholesale stuff. It's all about food and produce and plants from Michigan. And here's Jeff with 2 tiger lilies that we bought. The one vendor had just incredible flowers at incredible prices. So it's just really, really nice to pick up some stuff that we can have around for a little while. And, Sunday is also about some chores. So we swept outside, we did some laundry. And it's just really nice to have this capture of the week. And I have another page about the end. And there's a couple of favorite things that I have about this project that I did here for Week in the Life 2022. One of my favorite things are these large photos. I absolutely love these large photos. I love that I used one stamp set to keep all of my fonts, looking the same and have a cohesive look. Like, that made me really happy. I used my Misty for that. That was one of the first things I used my Misty for. I love just, that this was a comfortable project for me. I got all of my pictures printed at Persnickety Prints. That's usually one of the hard parts of the project for me, is getting my photos printed. But knowing, going through all of my photos, picking out the sizes, and then sending them all off to Persnickety, and then having them come back, and then going and putting the album together after that, that was really helpful for me. Especially with these big pages. Because they are, these photos are so worth having huge. They just look so good in this album. And having, two double photos like this, it's really nice. It brings in so many memories. It really is just a reminder of, I never would have been able to remember all of these stories without this book. And, with this book, it's so easy to remember all of these things. I remember making this page. I remember watching the Allie video. I remember, doing all the check-ins and all of the different, working on 30 days of showing up for the first time. There's so many cool things that happened. So many horrible things that happened. That having this documentation, it feels so nice. And it feels like this is really where I am telling the everyday stories that are important to me. And I'm not worried about making sure that I'm telling all of my everyday stories everywhere else. This is my favorite project to tell my everyday stories. So I'm really excited to tell all of my Week in the Life stories for 2023. And if you want to learn more about this project, you can head over to Allie Edwards' website and check out Week in the Life. Or you can check out several podcast episodes that I have over on Crafty Ass Female, one with Allie herself, and several with our Week in the Life roundtable friends. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will answer as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.